guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Callie, and today I'm going to be telling you all of the books that I am really excited for the month of July. So a fair amount of books actually got pushed to July, and those dates have stuck. So I'm really excited to get into it. So starting off with July 7th, this is when a majority of the books that I'm excited for are coming out. Our first one is Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. This is the sequel to Spin the Dawn, which came out last summer. And I fell in love with this story. It was very Mulan meets, I don't want to say Project Runway, but because she does enter this tailoring contest to make these dresses out of the most impossible things, it does give that sort of atmosphere, but it is so much more than any Project Runway book could ever give. The magic was beautiful and mystical. The romance was perfect, and I was here for it. And the plot was so unpredictable. I was loving every single second of the turn of the page. Was so upset at the end of the first book. I am really scared and excited to get into Unravel the Dusk because I do believe this is only a duology, so it all ends here and I'm scared. Next is The Princess Will Save You by Sara Henning. So first off, let's all note it is a Charlie Bowater cover. That's what drew me to it. However, this book is being marketed as basically a retelling of The Princess Bride, which I love The Princess Bride. I grew up watching it all the time. It's one of my favorite movies because of the humor, the romance, the storytelling. So I'm really excited to see what kind of elements we're going to be getting in this book. That's going to end up tying to The Princess Bride. If it's just like the actual plot line of The Princess Bride, which don't get me wrong, is also phenomenal, or if it's going to tie in that humor and fun storytelling aspect to it. I have read a couple of Sara Henning's books before, and I really enjoyed her writing style, so I'm excited to get this book. Next is Girl, Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust, and I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that, so my apologies. So this book initially drew my eye because of this gorgeous cover. The YA snake is making its way in 2020 as well, and I love this cover. It's simple, it's clean, it's very aesthetically pleasing. And read the synopsis, and this story follows a princess who is poisonous to the touch, so almost like a rogue from X-Men kind of feel, and has been locked away until her brother's wedding, and just everything goes wrong. And I'm really interested to see what kind of a character our main character is going to end up being, if she's going to be that naive, shy, locked away princess, or the kind of locked away princess who just wants to fight and find herself. So I'm really interested to see where this story is going to end up going. I have another sequel that is coming out on July 7th, and that is The Damned by Renee Ahdieh. This is the sequel to The Beautiful, which came out in October. So this is a fairly early sequel release. This one's also a duology. So this is the finale to The Beautiful. I actually haven't gotten to The Beautiful. It is very high up on my TBR, but from what I know about The Beautiful, it is vampires in New Orleans in the 1800s. And supposedly this is one of the better books that is bringing back our vampire trope. So I'm really excited to get to this book, to The Beautiful, so that I can then get to this book, because I am so in love with this cover that I'm just all buckets of excited. And the last one for July 7th is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylynn Bayron. This is supposed to be a mystical, futuristic fairy tale where girls are being sacrificed basically in the name of Cinderella in order to find the prince. So it's this weird sacrifice that gives me almost like Roman times kind of atmosphere. And then our main character, who is on the run from this sacrifice, ends up meeting one of Cinderella's actual descendants and learns that the story of Cinderella is not what her village actually thinks it is. All of this just sounds so intriguing, and I want to know I want to know why the sacrificing happened, and I want to know where in translation that got lost from our original Cinderella tale. And it sounds so cool and different and just a wild ride. So very excited for this book to come out. So I only have one for July 21st. That is Shielded by Kaylynn Flanders. This is a book about a kingdom at war and the second born child of the kingdom, who I think is the only daughter as well. Synopsis isn't too specific on that one. She ends up having to fight in this war and is the only hope. So this is a very unique take on the princess saves everybody trope. Usually it's by getting married or being shipped off or she has powers. This is, I assume powers is a thing. I know in the synopsis it mentions that being the second born, she ended up not getting the family powers. So I'm just intrigued to see if she's our only hope. Are powers like diminishing, or is she kind of like in Throne of Glass, where she just has immense powers that are just hidden under this, like underneath, and she's been hiding them. So there's a lot of questions about this book that I have, but otherwise it has all the tropes that I'm looking for in a really good high fantasy, and I'll be reading it. That's why it's on. And the last one that I have comes out on July 28th, and that is another sequel, and that is The Faithless Hawk by Margaret Owen. This is the sequel to The Merciful Crow. I didn't hate The Merciful Crow. It wasn't fantastic. The magic system to me was a little weird. We have this very intriguing bird cast where the crows are the lowest of the low, but they're also immune to the plague. So they're actually like the dead carriers. But the reason I'm excited for this one, since I didn't super care for book one, is it sounds like we'll be following the character who was in the Hawk class from book one. And he was one of the most dimensional and intriguing characters from book one. So if this follows his story after we leave Fi from the Merciful Crow, I'll be very, very intrigued to learn his point of view and just sort of learn more about his story, because he was very interesting in the first book and I really wanted more from him instead of our main character Fi. So those are all the books that I am excited for that are coming out in the month of July. A couple of other ones have gotten pushed, including Harrow the Ninth and Greythorn got pushed again. So these books will be coming out later this year. So unfortunately not in July, but that's okay. Lord knows my bookshelves need a breather. So that's going to be it for today. Feel free to check out any of our links down below in the description. We are still posting links in support of Black Lives Matter. Please check out any of them to help educate yourself. We are doing our best here to educate ourselves better, to become better allies. So all of those are linked down below, as well as some really, really fun creators here on YouTube that you should just go follow. They're all great. They're all bookish. So we all three of us highly recommend them. Feel free to check any of them out. Their links will be also in the description below. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!